An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Well, hi there. What we have on the bench here is 4L60E, and some of it's already been rebuilt and stacked into the case. But what I wanted to talk about is the 3/4 clutches, which anybody that builds 4L60Es is pretty aware that that is probably the #1 area of failure in a 4L60E is the 3/4 clutch pack. And there's multiple reasons for it. And one of them is the drum itself, how the shaft fits into the drum and how it can leak there. So we're going to take a look at this area down here on the 4L60E. I'll get that bearing and stuff out of the way, and I'll show you what I do to test the integrity of how the shaft fits in the drum, and then we're going to dynamically test it hot and see if we get the same result. So what we'll do is I'll put some fluid down here, and then apply air to the circuit that applies the piston for the 3/4 clutches. And so this little bleed hole here needs to get covered up as well when checking it. So as you can see, there is no air bubbles coming up around the shaft through the fluid. And so cold, it has a better fit than when it's hot, because the aluminum is going to expand more than the steel shaft, so the fit will loosen. I've had some of these that while they're cold, they tested pretty good. Maybe one tiny, or a couple tiny little bubbles come up, and so yeah, that doesn't seem like much of a leak. But then when you warm up the drum and bring it up to about where the operating temperature of the vehicle is and retest it, there was a ton of leakage around there. I'm going to show you what I do to test this now. So I build the drum first, and then I test it. And so if I build the drum and then test it and find out it doesn't work, then I got to take it apart. More often than not, these test good, but it's still a test that needs to be done, because taking this drum back apart and fixing the problem or replacing the drum is a lot quicker than pulling the unit back out of the vehicle. And part of the reason I don't do it before I disassemble the drum with the burnt clutches is there can be other defects in there. There could be a problem with the piston, when the clutches get real thin. I'd rather have the drum built with fresh stuff inside for what I'm going to use in the vehicle, and so then I'll do that test, and hopefully it'll pass, and then there's no backtracking. So what we'll do is bring the drum over here and put it in this pot of transmission fluid. If I shine a light down there, you'll see it's red. But so I set it in there, and and it's on top of a hot plate. So we'll set this thing on about medium, because if you walk away, you don't want it to keep cooking and overheat the fluid. We'll let this cook for a little while. You know, in the meantime, things like the valve body or the pump can be worked on, and then this drum will be ready to check. So it's getting pretty hot. I mean, the shaft you can hold on to pretty easy, but when it comes to putting the hand on the aluminum, you can only leave it there a couple of seconds wearing a nitrile glove. So we take a look here using this thermal imaging camera, and you know, down there the fluid's about 240. I don't know if that can be read on there on this GoPro, but so as we bring it back up, I think it's ready to test. So we're going to put some more ATF back around the base of the shaft where it goes in, and retest. Okay, so again, we're going to cover up this bleed hole and then put air into the ooh, that's hot. All right, so instead of holding my hand there and talking about it, we're going to cover up that bleed hole, apply air in the 3/4 clutch circuit, and see what we get. Oh man, that's hot now. Let me try it again here. Yeah, still no air coming up. So that's a good sign with this drum. The sealing integrity between the shaft and the drum is in good shape, because the thing's at it's pretty hot. Too hot to hold my thumb on up there. And the lower you go, I think the hotter it gets. So this will be good, but a lot of times we've seen that it'll test okay cold and then test it like this. Well, I wouldn't say a lot of times, but it's been a few times that it'll test bad hot. And the reason I got on to doing this is we had one 4L60E that just kept burning up the 3/4 for a mysterious reason. Everything else was good, and you know, it had all the same things that we do on our rebuild of a 4L60E, with putting kits in the valve body and restoring other areas of hydraulic deficiencies. And it ended up that it was a leak right here that did it. So we have had some that they tested okay cold, they tested not so good hot, where they would purge up a little bit of air, and so we would press the shaft out. And well, let me bring you over to the bench where there's another shaft and I can point out what I was doing. But for now, let's take this one out of here. There. Let that drip. And let me show you the shaft on the bench and what we do if they leak a little. If they leak a whole lot, then it probably just makes best sense to replace a drum. But if they leak a little, there's things that can be done to fix it. So here's a 700R4 shaft, or well, it could be early 4L60E, but it's the same thing. So what we'll do where these feed holes are in the shaft is I'll go around here with some sandpaper, like 120 or so, and just kind of break the glaze on the surface, and do the same inside the drum. I don't want to sand any material away, but I want to break the glaze because I'll use that green Loctite and put a coat on here and put a little coat inside the aluminum part of the drum as well. And the other thing I do is on the splines, because I want to have this secure in place. I've seen one that was really bad. You could almost pull the shaft out of the drum by hand. So the one that you could pull out of the drum by hand, I want to get it to also lock on the splines better. And so this area that I've circled here, what I'll do is in this middle area of the splines, I'll take the ball side of a ball peen hammer and go around and just kind of bang and cause a little bit of damage to the threads. So when it goes in, it really has a greater interference fit. Now, I don't really smash them down a lot, but I distort them a little bit, and that will help hold the shaft into the drum better. And so I also will put along the splines, put Loctite in there as well, that green Loctite that's supposed to be really strong stuff. And of those, when they go back together, they went down the road and never had a problem. So again, if the leakage is just a little bit, you can fix it like this. If it's a lot, then it's probably best to replace the drum. So if you're having a repeat failure of the 3/4 clutches on a 4L60E, and you've tried the valve body, you've addressed areas in the pump and areas in the case, take a good look at how the shaft fits in the drum and test it hot, so it really puts it under the conditions that it's operating in, and you might uncover the deficiency you've been looking for.